As I was entering the lane, the white Audi merged just behind me. There were no cars ahead of the gray March, so I proceeded to merge. However, the Audi driver seemed impatient and decided to overtake me from the yellow line. Unfortunately, an incident occurred as a result. The driver of the car was arrested, although I am unaware of the reason. The truck drove off, and the car had to be towed. One would expect that impatient drivers would receive consequences for their actions. However, some individuals seem to drive as they please, disregarding the rules of the road. A driver who was under the influence of alcohol and drugs attempted to evade the police but ended up crashing. Thankfully, they hit a traffic cone instead of causing harm to an innocent person. Hopefully, the punishment they receive will teach them a valuable and memorable lesson. This incident appears to be an insurance scam. Without a dashcam, any rear-end collision is often assumed to be the fault of the car behind. Having a dashcam can help prevent unjustified compensation claims. The presence of the red Jeep is greatly assisting in identifying the culprit responsible for this incident. It seems evident that the driver was not sober when they drove into the police station. Such behavior is characteristic of someone under the influence of alcohol. I'm not certain if the van is attempting an insurance scam, but it is driving at 70 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone, leaving plenty of space to merge. However, it chooses to wait until the last moment before pulling out and then proceeds at a speed of 30 miles per hour. In Fall River, Mass., a car was abruptly cut off by a truck. Personally, I would be quite upset in that situation, but I couldn't leave my vehicle or pursue them. Regardless, it's advisable to have a dash cam installed. As I entered the lane, the white Audi merged just behind me. There were no cars ahead of the gray March, so I proceeded to merge. However, the Audi driver appeared impatient and decided to overtake me from the yellow line. Unfortunately, an incident occurred. In the end, the Audi driver accepted fault. I assume the driver turned the radio volume to the maximum, which was ridiculous and could potentially anger other drivers, including an ambulance. This is precisely why it's crucial to maintain a safe distance and remain focused while driving. Even a momentary distraction can lead to unfavorable outcomes. The black car seems to believe that the shoulder is their own personal lane, allowing them to bypass traffic until someone attempts to merge over. The driver never yielded their lane, so regardless of the reason behind their decision to change course, it was still their responsibility to maintain their lane.
New sunscreen and bring down with us, because apparently that shit's expensive.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I'm gonna...
Remember to bring sunscreen, it can be quite expensive. In regards to the incident, it appears that the other driver was at fault for speeding and brake checking you. However, you escalated the situation by racing the individual and reaching a speed of 60 miles per hour yourself, which created a much more dangerous scenario. It's important to understand that this behavior only exacerbates the situation.
I don't understand.
They were tailgating us for approximately 5 miles before deciding to overtake on a bend, nearly resulting in a head-on collision with a bus. They managed to move ahead of just one car before making a left turn at the next roundabout. During a pursuit of a criminal, a successful BIT maneuver was executed to immobilize the vehicle. Thankfully, no incidents occurred during the maneuver. Although the individuals fled initially, they were apprehended a few minutes later. This incident serves as another reminder to reduce speed during wet weather conditions to prevent accidents. It's advisable to brake earlier and reduce speed when driving on rainy days. Visibility and road conditions are always a concern in such weather. Both parties involved in the incident claim to have stopped at the stop sign before proceeding. It's baffling how they failed to notice each other. This incident took place in Central Florida. Fortunately, the driver of the phone-screened vehicle walked away without injuries before crashing into the car with the dash cam. Confusion between the accelerator and brake pedals led to an unfortunate incident. It's crucial to double-check and ensure that your foot is on the correct pedal before applying pressure. Collisions often occur unexpectedly, causing panic among those involved. Maintaining a firm grip on the steering wheel and driving at a reasonable speed can help instill a sense of safety. When driving, avoid sudden braking, as someone might be tailgating you. This is why it's essential to maintain a safe distance and remain focused on the road.
And it also provides services to the services that you direct in and provide opportunities.
The individual behind the wheel of the stolen car was under the influence of drugs, resulting in damage to several vehicles. Fortunately, law enforcement promptly apprehended the suspect. This incident took place on I-35 North in Des Moines, Iowa. It appears to be a case of overcorrection, leading to a loss of steering control. Fortunately, there were no serious injuries.
But it seems that Charles, even if he...
It's advisable not to rush when someone intends to use the same lane as you while on the road. There's no guarantee that they will yield, so prioritize your safety above all else. The woman driving the Jeep Cherokee failed to yield the right-of-way. She pulled over, complaining about her mirror, and then fled the scene. As it turned out, she had no insurance. The driver of the Ford Fiesta filed a complaint against the Mozos de Escuadra, accusing them of deliberately provoking a crash. The alleged offense carries a probable cause charge of 6 months to 2 years. In Fall River, Massachusetts, a car was abruptly cut off by a truck. I can understand why it would be frustrating, but unfortunately I couldn't intervene or pursue the situation. Nevertheless, it's advisable to consider installing a Dashcam. While on his way home from work in Newport Richey, Florida, the driver was rear-ended by the person behind him. They both pulled into a gas station, and upon examination, it was discovered that the driver's insurance had lapsed 2 weeks earlier.
The architecture, Chad. He's like, you know,
The scene was
Like
reminiscent of
wasn't
a
an-
horror movie. It appeared that the driver had been involved in a severe crash, yet remarkably, they emerged unscathed from their supercar, which bore significant damage. The repairs for such a high-end vehicle can be quite costly. It's truly perplexing. What happens when you give in to the temptation of using bus-only lanes during rush hour? Traffic karma strikes at just the right moment. The driver disregarded the giveaway sign, attempted to overtake from the left side, and ended up colliding with the passenger's vehicle before bouncing back and crashing into the Hyundai. Someone pulled out in front of me while they still had the right of way, forcing me to slam on my brakes. This incident serves as a compelling reminder of why it's crucial for everyone to slow down and stay attentive while driving, particularly on wet roads. Handling unexpected situations promptly can be challenging for anyone towing a trailer. Prior to setting off, ensure that the trailer is securely hitched to the front of the vehicle. It was just an unfortunate day when my vehicle was struck by a car thief attempting to escape. It's difficult to react swiftly in such situations. Fortunately, no injuries occurred, and the thief was apprehended shortly after. I'm still puzzled as to why a truck transporting other cars blocked the lane, while the truck in front eventually drove away. How many people have functioning warning lights, and who thinks of using fog lights to enhance visibility from a distance? It seems you could benefit from some advice on avoiding road rage while driving in traffic. Which car is at fault? The car in the right lane suddenly changed lanes, the car in the middle lane, or the car in the left lane that failed to slow down when approaching congested traffic? When towing a trailer, it's essential to ensure proper weight distribution and avoid excessive speed and sudden braking. Driving too closely and without maintaining a safe distance in slippery conditions appears to be quite common in the United States. It's crucial to learn to maintain stopping distances while driving to ensure everyone's safety. This incident occurred on Gaston Avenue at Palo Santo, Dallas, Texas. Thankfully, no one was injured. Remember to stay focused on driving when entering the highway and be attentive to traffic signals. It's advisable to brake earlier and reduce speed when driving on rainy days, as visibility and road conditions are always a concern. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey today. Remember to prioritize safe and calm driving on all routes. Even though she stopped at the stop sign, she rushed out as if she didn't notice my presence. Don't forget to check for traffic on both the left and right sides before proceeding. Perhaps the loss of control was due to the slippery road conditions. Let's make sure to equip ourselves with proper tires for improved traction and safer driving. The driver missed their parking spot and accidentally backed into me. Luckily, neither vehicle sustained any damage. Always remember to look before backing up.